How are you? How are you? Oh, where is it? Here we go. Let's listen to some Bunkbed Coffin. This is Bunkbed Coffin, local YouTube artist. Check him out. Link in the description. His cover of a Nirvana song called Heart Shaped Coffin. We all know it's Heart Shaped Box. He did a cover, mashed up two songs, Heart Shaped Coffin. Okay? Or not mashed up two songs, but made it his own with a blending of, because it's technically not a mashup. Technically. Hassan's tweeting, glad our American billionaires bought TikTok to do pro-Trump, pro-Israel propaganda. Yeah, TikTok is already blocking any critique of the Trump regime. Your cancer when you turn black. This is the part. This is it. I love how Funky breaks this down. This is Bunkbed Coffin. I'm playing for you. Local YouTube artist. Support him. Link in the description. YouTube, he gave me the authority to play this. What's up, Edward? Told you would be. You told me you would be. Told you I would be. Yes. Good to see you, Edward. Oh, I gotta put on subscriber mode only. We're gonna do not anyone subscribers. Let's give them a minute. They gotta subscribe for a minute. Because I'm tired of the garbage people chirp with no avatar, and they say these long, drawn out things. Hold on. Wait, I got a new complaint. Oh, we got a new complaint today, folks. We have a new complaint today. I'll play some more of that in a minute. New complaint today. Hey, wait, I've got a new complaint. This is an old new complaint. I'm rehashing an old complaint and I'm remaking it new. Bunky, how does it go? I just need to say that when Bunkbed Coffin, link in the description to that song Heart Shaped Coffin, where Bunky kind of mixes up Kurt's original. Beautiful piece by Bunkbed Coffin. What's up, Cage? Good to see you. I just gotta say, every time I see these maggots, these bootlickers, leaving me comments, if I'm not just removing them at this point because it's so foolish on its face, and I'll tell you why. These people are just fools. And that's it. They're just foolish people. They think they're very serious and they take a stand for things, but they're foolish morons. Foolish. Foolish, I tell you, and I'll get into it. But every time, I wish YouTube would figure out how in the comments you could just leave an audio clip. You know, you could just clip Kurt Cobain saying, hey, wait, I got a new complaint. Forever in debt to your priceless advice. Because that's what I hear in my head. I just had to reply to somebody in the comments. Because again, for the 4,000th time, these people that aren't even bootlickers anymore, they're boot garglers, okay? They have no gag reflex on the boot. You know them as the Epstein crowd, the Epstein class defenders. They support the Epstein army. That's why all this is happening. They do not want those Sasha Riley, Epstein, Donald Trump, best trafficking friends files released. But every freaking time, these people say the same thing over. It's literally like they are brain broken, like they are Cro-Magnon. I don't even want to insult any pre-contemporary humanity because these people are just. I can't even call them parrots because parrots are cooler. um, regurgitating demogorgons. I don't know how else to call these people, but they're absolute fools. And they all say, I mean, I've had many MAGA just say the same thing. They all go, "You're doing this in defense of illegal immigration. They want law and order." And I'm like, you understand. You stop. You need to stop. Number one, you don't care about law and order. You don't care about legalities. You just don't. We could go back to, you voting for a felon. We could go back to you voting for the guy that's in the Epstein files that is clearly, yes, Bill Clinton is too, Richard Branson is too, Elon Musk is too, Kimball Musk is too. You're right. They're not president. They didn't ask you for a vote. And you did not go, "You better release those files. Here's my vote." I don't care about the other ones. I care about the PDF file that's in the White House. But let's just avoid all the past. Let's get to contemporary day. ICE has no jurisdiction over U.S. citizens. Immigration and Customs Enforcement does not have rule of law over us. They just don't. And they've prematurely taken a lot of lives, American lives. 1 was too many. 2 was too many. 3 was too many. 4 is a pattern of abhorrent behavior. And all the meanwhile, in the chat, in the comments, these maggots, MAGATS, that suckle from Epstein's teat are pretending to care about illegal anything? At this point, I would say anyone crossing any kind of border is the lowest threat to the enemy within. And they're familiar with that language because that was used against the people who want health care for you. They're used against the people who want fair wages. They were used against labor unions. They were used against all the people who are fighting for something better. And the billionaire Epstein class, like Donald Trump, said, "You have the enemy within. Go look up at the news." I'm not doing this one with you. They're raiding journalist houses. I mean, this is basic 101. Get your head out of Fox News's ass and start paying attention. I will play some stuff for you, and I will show you some things. Regular Chowder, I see that you're out here making great impacts in society. Thanks for the sub, Regular Chatter, or Chowder, as we're calling you. Again, my point will be made that don't let these maggots, the Epstein class supporters, ever tell you they care about anything legal. When they go, "Oh, illegal immigration, that's what you're defending." I don't let people who support the most abhorrent lawbreakers tell me about legality. You know what I mean? It's funny. It's almost foolishly simple-minded. They just need Pam Bondi. Here she is, this dumb bitch. And remember, when Pam Bondi speaks, you don't listen. You just don't. She's disgraced the office, is hiding the Epstein files. Remember when she said, "I have hundreds of millions of videos and tapes and photos and things on my desk and papers, and the file work is bludgeoning over, and I can't believe how gross this is." And then the next day she was like, "It doesn't exist. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. One of these statements is not like the other. So maybe I'm a liar, or maybe I'm hoping you're stupid enough to buy into it." And MAGA was like, "Oh, let me warm up that no gag reflex and I'll swallow that boot real quick."
Saying, bring your worst of the worst to Minneapolis. You're invited.
Oh, is she talking about ICE? That's crazy. Has this bitch flipped? She just said bringing the worst of the worst to Minneapolis. Is she talking about ICE? You dumb bitch, release the files.
Here, we will protect you. Aisha, these are the arrests. These are just the arrests.
Look, she's holding paperwork again. I don't know who needs to hear this, but when you see Pam Blondie hold paperwork, you go, "Are those the Epstein files? You know, the ones that you're illegally hiding?" That's the other thing. I don't ever want MAGA to tell me anything about the law or legality when This regime is breaking it right now. December 19th, tick, 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 2% of the Epstein files. Where's the rest of them, Pam? The only paperwork I want to see in your hand, Pam, is the releasing of the Epstein files. Until then, don't lecture me, you know, you know, you know what I mean. And this is what I'm trying to teach Americans. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. My name is Rob. I go live every single day. These bootlickers that want to lecture us on the laws of the country while our American citizens are being wiped out, decimated by a immigration force that has no authority over Americans. You can go up to them and be like, piss off, get out of here. And that's completely within your right. They don't have authority over you. It's in the name. Immigrations and customs. I don't do none of that. Get the fuck out of my way. So I just don't want to hear from these nerds about legalities and illegalities. Why is it always the things that they need to latch onto that Pam Blondie talks about, or Epstein's best friend, Donald Trump? Why is it always those things that they want to latch onto the legalities of? How come when, the J6ers were being pardoned and then rearrested for heinous crimes against kids, you don't see MAGA being like, oh my God, this is highly illegal behavior, and one strike you should be out, but two strikes you should really be out. You never hear MAGA being like, I don't like felonies, and that president has 34 of them. You don't hear MAGA be like, it was against the law to keep withholding the Epstein files after December 19th, and they're still doing it. It's always against people not of their same skin color. I wonder why. I wonder why they get so upset when you go, well, if you call us racist, we might become one. No, you are one. You are one. Before Zen Ali, MAGA equals collaborators. They are co-conspirators. If you're still maggots after this, MAGATS, just know this rests on your shoulders. And keep leaving the comments. Maybe I'll stop removing them and I'll start screenshotting them, because most of you don't show your face, but the few who do, we want to weed you out. You're anti-American imperialist Epstein army and Epstein class supporters. And just going forward, it's been a bad look. But more importantly, it's been highly illegal. They're not doing anything by the book. And that's not me saying it. I shared, if you've hit subscribe and the notification bell, I shared Legal Eagle's YouTube video, off the cuff YouTube video, who's a pretty well-respected lawyer here on the virtual medium. Him almost in tears talking about how there is no rule of law right now. There is no rule of law. So that's why, when these maggots want to tell me about the rule of law, I go, are you just picking the ones that, you as the bootlicker want smashed on other people? Because that's, not American at all. I mean, even the NRA is coming out. The NRA. The last time the NRA legislated for gun regulation, was I believe in the 70s or 60s, when the Black Panthers took to a protest to open carry at the California State House. Look it up. That's the last time the NRA was like, whoa, 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 whoa. We really need to do something about these weapons. It wasn't the weapons, it was the black folks, just so you know. That's a quick history lesson. That's the cliff notes of it. The NRA is very racist, and they were like, black people carrying, open carry at the State House, we're going to regulate that. That's how it worked. Know your history. And now the NRA is coming out again. They're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Yuck, 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 yuck. Yikes. NRA and other gun activists push back at Trump officials. I mean, when the NRA gets involved, listen, I don't know how many children, and this is very, very sad. I hate this about America, and I hate the people who want to do nothing about it. Kids have to learn how to hide at school. I wouldn't call that a free country. I want you to sit and think about that, whether you have kids or not. Before you start saying America, land of the free, and then go, no, don't express yourself. No, you can't marry who you want. No, you can't do what you want with your body. I want you to think about the kids who are growing up doing these exercises to hide at school because the people who wanted to carry are now hiding in their homes. I don't get it. So this is like disgraceful behavior. And it's been happening since I was in high school in the 90s when there was, there we go. There we go. There we go. Sorry. If you're just joining, I'm Rob. I do a live commentary entertainment show. I don't know if it's entertainment. Wow, it is, but you'll see that later. Sorry, we're covered in a couple feet of snow, so the Wi-Fi access is a little weak. Wilbur Nola, what's up, New Orleans? They're not getting that 50K. Did you see how they structured the 50K? By the way, hit subscribe, support the channel. I'm only supported by viewers like you, super chats, gifts, stuff like that. I don't do any advertisements. I do have a clothing line down in the description, class consciousness clothing. You can buy my newest John Brown Gun Club shirt. Gunfighters of the Gospel. John Brown is my blood cousin. But anybody who is righteous in the cause, feel free. Feel free. Nola, hold on. Oh, so that's what I was saying. Did you see how don't they need to do 5 years before they can get the 50K in loan forgiveness? Correct. The way they structured, this is how stupid MAGA is, right? The way they structured is they'll get that 10K up front, which is pennies. I mean, just think about it. They just sold their soul for 10K, and I'm guessing nobody's going to hire them once ICE is on your resume. Which, why would you? They're lawbreakers. They're going to be busy at Nuremberg anyways. But they structured it as like you have to be there all 5 years to get all the money. And I mean, let's be honest. They did it because Trump's presidency is 4 years long. That's if he survived, if he doesn't keel over after the third fucking fillet of fish. But I just want you to think about how funny this is. That to get that stuff, they have to do 5 years. 1 year past the Trump administration, the Trump regime. Does anybody think this is going to continue for 5 years? I mean, we're not even like a full month into, what's really been going on is they're trying to extort Minnesota for voter rolls. But a lot of people are waking up. A lot of people are, this is what I was talking about before. The NRA is like, listen, the last time we ever got involved in any kind of like gun stuff was the Black Panthers, where we highly tried to regulate people from having them, and that was 50, 60 years ago. So the fact that they're coming out and they're like, whoa, let's everybody slow the rolls is kind of crazy because they don't, they make the dumbest statements ever. Trump is looking more than rough. Wayne's World party time. Sorry, Dwayne's World. Oh, Dwayne, you should really do a Dwayne's World parody of Wayne's World. I would consider trampling on constitutional rights at every opportunity they see is dangerous. What's up, Michael? Good to see you. If MAGA really care about deporting illegal immigrants, why do they support the president with the lowest deportation numbers in recent history? It's because it's not. That's what I was getting at. And Michael knows that. But it's because it's not. But I would, listen, I cannot connect into the internet, sorry. We're being blasted by a storm. Sorry. Don't know if you heard, but the major Republican contender for governor of Minnesota just stepped down because he can't back what ICE is doing and how the Republican Party is condoning it. No, I didn't hear that. I've read a little bit of news, not much. Like this. This is what I mean. Like, guys, we're like, when attorney generals are suggesting the state self-defense laws allow residents to masked ICE agents, I would say, like, things aren't going well. Because, I don't know. Usually AGs are on the side of complicity. They like want to back the state. This is usually like a public defender statement. But this is crazy. Okay. Good luck. Good luck, ICE. I wonder what their quitting numbers are. We already have the ICE leaked. What is it? What? Where was that news article? It said. By the way, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Live every weekday. Personal information of 4,500 ICE and Border Patrol agents is leaked online from the Independent today. So just so you know, Oh, doesn't that boot taste good? No gag reflex on this maggot, like the rest of them. By the way, this was Bunkbed Coffin. Hit subscribe. I was playing his music earlier. Hey, wait, I got a new complaint. Forever dead to your browsers and vines. Hey, wait, I got a new complaint. Forever dead to your browsers and vines. Hey, wait, I got a new complaint. Forever dead to your browsers and vines. Your red eyes. I think of that song, and Bunkbed, thank you for letting me use your music. I love you, Bunky. Go subscribe to him, link in the description. I think of that song often because when these no gag reflex eat corn the long way, you know, their throats like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. When these make America grape again, that's what it should be. Say anything about legal law enforcement illegality, I don't even want, this is what I want to teach you if you haven't considered this. Number one, maybe just, you know, don't engage because they're clearly morons. They're fools. They're fools. They're fool. I don't like to suffer fools often, but when I do, I usually just use common sense and I go, oh, really? The people supporting a immigration enforcement that has no authority over American citizens, who is murking more in the past month. I mean, their rate of taking people out is highly suspect. You're okay with that. That's the law and order crowd. They're okay with what's going on. And don't let them tell you, like Pam Blondie was trying to say, if you run up on a law enforcement, bitch, we got a First Amendment and we can peacefully assemble. And not so peacefully, to be honest with you. Piss on them. Sorry, something in my throat. Let's listen to Pam Blondie again. If this bitch is coming on TV and not saying anything besides like, here are the Epstein files, I don't want to hear it because she's a proven liar.
That ICE has been making. And that's why Donald Trump has ICE in Minneapolis to protect the citizens.
Okay, you just heard that, right? Pam Blondie, the one who said the Epstein files are on my desk, now they don't exist, said ICE is in Minneapolis to protect the citizens. All the citizens? Citizens named Alex? ICU nurses? All the citizens? It doesn't seem like they're trained for crowd control or to interact with citizens. In fact, they have no authority over citizens. So what is this bitch talking about? Is she just giving MAGA another talking point so they can go deeper, sir, deeper? These no gag reflex fools are silly because you can't claim. This is why, like, we really need to, what's it called? Seize Rupert Murdoch's assets. He's the one that owns, you know, Wall Street Journal, Fox News, many other media conglomerates. And he's a immigrant. I don't know how else to put it. He's from Australia. And he's sowing divide by letting this dumb bitch who lied to your face about the Epstein files come on the news and say, oh, ICE is, Epstein's best friend sent ICE to Minnesota to protect citizens. That's not their job. And they clearly are really bad at it. I would say like F Z? Can you give somebody a Z? I think F minus has got to be the lowest. I don't even think you can give an F minus, but I would give ICE an F minus at protecting U.S. citizens, like Pam Blondie said. Let's just listen to that again. This is kind of hilarious. Like, who hears this and goes, that's right, they're there to protect? What are you talking about? Have you not seen any of the interactions? Have you not read the D counts? They're not protecting anyone besides the Epstein files.
ICE in Minneapolis to protect the citizens.
This is on the heels of an American citizen being did in cold blood, protecting 2 women. And this lady, the one who lied to you about the Epstein files, you were going to believe her. You really have a no-gag reflex, MAGA. Really. Like, I'm impressed. You should start an OnlyFans and just start swallowing boot. You might make more money. You might be able to afford that egg. Be like, bitches, I got egg money. Oh, God, I hope kids don't start calling it egg money. Oh, God. Oh, God. Are they selling Lucy eggs at the corner store? Oh, God.
Sodomy of a boy, strong-arm robbery, sexual assault.
Oh, is she listing off Donald Trump's charges? Maybe this is the Epstein files. Oh, who knew Fox is covering the Epstein files? I'm not going to play any more of that because, you know, she's crass and a liar. But I just wanted you to hear firsthand what maybe your grandparents are listening to. I don't know. It's got to be old folks who lost the TV remote and they have one of those TVs where you got to like get up and turn the fucking spinneret and still got wood on the TV and they're just like, I don't know, we lost the remote, stuck on this. Because you have to have a waste case of a brain to hear this broad list those charges. Those charges. This is also why I don't make much money on YouTube. Keep getting that little yellow button. So if you want, support the channel, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, super chat, whatever you want to do. But if you could hear Pam Blondie get upset about those charges, dealing with young children, and not immediately think, well, if you really want to protect people from crimes against kids, like release the Epstein files. You know, I'm pretty sure the billionaire Epstein class has money, islands, planes, power. Like, they are way more of a threat than anyone else. Anyone else. Like, when you have an Epstein army to invade cities to protect the files, I'm pretty sure you're at the pinnacle of power. I'm pretty sure I'm questioning what you're doing with those little kids that you're kidnapping. I'm pretty sure you can't lecture us about those kind of heinous charges while not releasing the Epstein files. Is this making sense to everybody? I really need to spell this out because I'm tired of maggots with their no-gag reflex, eating corn the long way, hot dog down a hallway, deep knee bends in the pickle patch. You know what I mean? The maggots. The ones that will say, well, why are you defending illegal immigration? Well, why are you defending a PDF file in the White House? Why? Why? We can't go tit for tat over you think this law applies and none others. We just can't. That's what I call foolish. You understand? So just squash all that out. When you see it in the comments, when you see it on a post, just immediately go, oh yeah, that's right. You really care about laws. Totally. You're on the moral high ground here about laws, or is it just people of a different color? Because voting for a felon, voting for a guy who is breaking the law, not releasing the Epstein files, voting for a guy who's taking bribes to release criminals is all what? Is that not illegal? How come it's the word immigration after the only legality thing that you harp on? It's so foolish on its head. It makes you understand why we need education in this country. You know what I mean? Like, we really fucking need it. Because these people can't even think. I mean, there was a guy tweeting at me trying to screenshot different charges of different people that I'm defending for illegal immigration. I'm like, this is the silliest shit I've ever heard. This is the silliest, dumbest thing. I just can't understand the people that are like, oh yeah, look at the heinous charges that you're defending. I'm like, really? Really? Pretty sure this guy had an island to do those things at. Pretty sure he lived next door and then admitted, oh yeah, he was taking little girls from my massage parlor. You know what I mean? It's the face of like you get a squeeze of lemon and you're like, really? What crimes are you not okay with, MAGA? Really spell it out for me. Spell out which crimes you're not okay with. Tell me about it. Tell me all about it. Is it only poor people crimes? Is it only crimes of color? What is it? Is it because this guy told you he loves you? I'm just kidding. He didn't. He called you stupid. He called you stupid. I'll play the clip. I'll play the clip. Maggie, you're so fucking dumb. You're so fucking dumb. Sometimes it's hard to fucking understand like what it takes to be that stupid all day. You know, like are they constantly working at it? Are they constantly looking to be fed like a baby bird by Pam Blondie and Donald Trump? Like you just wonder. Hold on.
Educated. I love the poorly educated.
Okay, there's one. We can do this for a while, folks. Get ready.
Smart people don't like me.
Okay. Here's Donald Trump during the Tylenol rant said stupid people are running the country. And it's him as president and all his lackeys.
There's a lot of stupid people in this country running things.
Guys. Oh my God. This is so funny. Why do you think Steve Bannon said this?
If God is my witness, if we lose the midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room are going to prison, myself included.
Come on. Come on. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Oh my God. The Trump files were renamed the Epstein files after Epstein moved on. Maybe MAGA's just, you know, respecting the grief that he's in because he lost his best friend a few years ago. Oh yeah, Michael, feel free, Zen Ali, Edward Thornton. I made this a subscribers only chat only because I'm tired. Like, it's exhausting hearing the same fucking bot say again and again, you're defending illegal immigrants. It's like, no. I'm shockingly, this is shocking. Shockingly, I'm defending the rule of law. And I'm not that guy. You know, I understand laws were mostly written by corporations and then passed on to the politicians to just sign the dotted line, sign their soul away so they could whatever they want to do, pollute our air, put data centers somewhere, you know, just basically exploit us to the max. I'm one of those people. So I think, you know, we need to rewrite. Here's a quote I live by. When institutions fail, like the presidency, like Congress, House, the American system, when it fails, what you're witnessing right now, Fourth Amendment, gone. 2A, where's that? You know, that's gone. 1A, you can't even go and protest. You know, like when all that stuff is gone, I'm a firm believer in when institutions fail, you don't reform them, you replace them. And by the way, I'm Rob. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. Well, 65,000 Americans die every year from lack of access to healthcare, whether they can't afford it or there's some denial, you know, defend, deny, depose, free Luigi, innocent till proven guilty. And cops broke the law to, you know, violate his rights. And you don't see many people. That's the other thing. You know, if all these maggots really wanted to enforce the law, they'd be very upset at how the police violated Luigi's rights. If you're paying attention. We'll go over that. We'll have a Luigi Mangione moment this week on the podcast or the live, whatever this is. I don't care. Oh, hold on. Naj 1367, $2. 2 of the 3 homicides in Minnesota and 26 are from ICE. I would say that's too many. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I'm supported by viewers like you. I'm not here for my health. If you got nothing to add to the conversation, you'll be removed. Hey, what's up, Sendushin? Sendo Justa. How's Brazil this morning? Just to let you know, we're covered in about 2 feet of snow here. So if the internet keeps going out, I don't know what to tell you. See, here, free my man Luigi. He did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Innocent till proven guilty. Right, America? Right, America? Right, America? Right, America? Was Pam Blondie trying to implicate him in crimes that we don't know he committed? Let a jury of his peers nullify it. Look it up. Good morning, AOW, 3-Ray. Dornold, Epstein's best friend, said smart people don't like me. He certainly fucking did.
Smart people don't like me.
You're a moron if you like them. Not my words. Again, not my words. It's amazing how many people will actively prove to Donald how stupid they are. It's like a competition to see who can get to the lowest. Fuck. I'm just really tired of hearing the people who support Epstein's best friend try to lecture us on laws. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And again, I'm not one of these laws person. I think this system, that's what I was explaining, has failed. It's failed the American people. 65,000 plus people are dying just because they can't get access to the healthcare they need. We have an entire insurance system. And if anyone wants to let me know, what product does the healthcare insurance system provide for you, aside from exploiting you and taking your money and denying your claims? They provide no product, but somehow they're allowed to tell doctors, no, that's unnecessary. They're allowed to call doctors in the middle of anesthesia and go, this is pretty expensive. She's only been paying us her whole life. Is this going to take much longer? And the doctor's like, I'm in surgery, you fucking cunts. Seriously. I want you to consider that. This institution has failed. I understand most of you have grown up in it, only understood it. Don't even look outside the world. You just heard America was the land of the free. And then when I ask questions like, what's free? Are you free to express yourself? Are you free to be who you want? Are you free to marry who you want? Women, are you free to do what you want with your bodies? Are you free to protest? Are you free to tell the police, fucking come back with a judicial warrant? You're not free. None of this shit's free. And it's costing us our lives. So when institutions fail, we don't reform them, we replace them. We can set up, and here's the beautiful thing about revolution. A few hundred years ago, a couple hundred years ago, we were looking to different countries to kind of blend things to do this American experiment. Clearly, the billionaire class found a cheat code, hacked it, exploited all the money, bought all the politicians, and spoiled it. It's spoiled rotten. Not one bad apple. The tree, root and stem, needs to be dug the fuck out, and then we should, seize Elon Musk's assets, redistribute the wealth, and give everyone healthcare. And I've never been in a country where I'm like, you should have free healthcare, and one guy just has to be taxed a whole lot. And they're like, how dare you? What do you want, free stuff? And I'm like, no, I don't want you to die because you fucking caught a cold when you had pneumonia. You fucking moron. And you're gonna fight against that? God damn, is this another one of those Russian bots? That's my whole conversation. Like, I don't even know why I engage with these psyops. But the truth is most Americans understand that, oh yeah, the whole other world does that. Watch Michael Moore's Where to Invade Next when he's in the ER at a UK hospital. He's like, how much did it cost you? And they like laugh. They're like, what do you, might cost me my taxes? I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, oh, because Americans paid this bill for the ambulance ride. And they're like, oh, those suckers. And they call it a free land. We got a king and we get better healthcare than that. It's an embarrassment. And because America collectively at one point cheered about education being dismantled, we're here. We're here. We are what George Carlin dubbed, they want people not an educated people, but just smart enough to run the machines. So that's why when you saw Donald Trump saying, like, we're going to tariff and build industries here so you can all work at sweatshops, they were like, hurrah! I want to work at one of them Chinese sweatshops. It's like, what the fuck is going on? We could have UBI, healthcare paid for, our taxes, work 3 days a week. I was like, where are the robots, guys? I don't want to fucking work anymore. Like, let the robots do it. I've seen the Jetsons. You ever seen the Jetsons? Yo, those people work like fucking 1 hour a day and had robots do everything. Change your paradigm, folks. Stop watching TV. Stop listening to the American status quo elites tell you that, like, this is good enough. It's not. None of this is good enough. When institutions fail, we don't reform them. What are the Democrats doing right now? Funding ICE for body cams? Give me a break. And I understand that they're backing out or whatever, but give me a fucking break. They're status quoers. We need a new revolution of people to say enough is enough. You know, we don't need to be compromised by this toxic money that these billionaires just want to keep funding to the politicians so they stand around and do nothing, or worse, lie to you like Pam Blondie. When I was just playing Pam Blondie, I can't even play her clip again because she speaks so heinously. It's almost like she has an anus for a mouth. You know, it's just spewing like little spittles of fecal matter everywhere when Pam Blondie speaks. And if anybody listens to that person, do not fucking unfollow me if you listen to Pam Blondie. I can't say this fucking with more passion and honesty. If you listen to people who have repeatedly lied to you that you don't even know, but provenly lied to you, like Pam Blondie went on TV and was like, you guys are going to be so disgusted. I have hundreds of thousands of videos of these Epstein freaks. And then a week later, she was like, the files don't even exist. You guys are crazy. And everybody was like playing her clip from a week ago, being like, well, you said that. What do you...
Our country was founded on religion. Our country was founded on law enforcement. And
Okay, am I back? Okay. Mike Hawk. Are you Michael Hawk from those survival shows? That's a real guy's name. Might think it's a trolling. Money isn't real, it's just an agreement. That's it. It's all made up, folks. The system is failing when it allows a child to take the reins of power. 100%. The system has failed. This isn't like a hypothetical. This is, and I only say this because if you know anything about the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, it was implemented by the same people who brought you Project 2025. The Heritage Foundation came up with the Obamacare. It's not Obama's doing. This is what I mean. Like they work together to want us gone. That's why I keep saying, like, what do they want? Do they just want all the money? Should we just pass around a cup and everybody just put all your money in and go, there you guys go. You guys got all the money. Now we're going to have to do other things to get your stuff. I always think of that JFK quote, right? Make peaceful revolution impossible. You're going to make a different one necessary. Here's a little more Pam Blondie, and I want you to listen to what a filthy liar she is. A dirty, dirty liar. Here's the guy she's defending.
our country was founded on law enforcement. And
That's wrong. We were not founded on law enforcement. Law enforcement came much later when they needed slave catchers to go and get the slaves. That's how law enforcement was founded. Our country was founded saying, no taxation without representation. No. You're not going to be tyrannical on us. You're not going to quarter your troops in our homes. We are going to be able to defend ourselves and have a voice, essentially, unalienable rights imbued by our creator, yada, yada, yada. None of it matters because it's, you're hearing the regime tell you, no, this country wasn't founded on the Boston Tea Party and a really cool protest throwing tea into the ocean. I wonder if people after were jumping into the ocean being like, salty tea. No, it was founded on law enforcement. Hey, maggots, this is the one time I'll let you talk. Because other than that, you're just being obedient to this guy. They're basically one. They're best friends. Tell me how America was founded on law enforcement. Really, I just want to hear the well thought out answer. Like, it couldn't be stupid. This is why I'm like, you gotta know, like, the ABCs of our history to just understand shoot when you see the whites of their eyes was not about law enforcement. I'm pretty sure those were the first cop killings. You know what I mean? Those were the enforcers. And us, as Americans, were like, we only got a little gunpowder, so you can wait till you see them whites. Whites of them eyes. And the whites, too, because most of them were white. Solidarity with Crispus Attucks, if you know, you know. What if I do care about illegal immigration? This is the funniest thing ever. Well, you don't. You just don't. You don't, because your next statement is going to be like, I don't like the crime that they commit. So I was prepared for, you know, it's just easy to read, you dummies. I don't know how else to put it. You're foolish, so it's very easy to like read you guys, because the next thing is like, what about all the crimes? Here, you can go to the American Immigration Council and you can read about the reports where the sanctuary cities, the non-detainer counties, have less crime. Median household income is higher, poverty is lower, reliance on public assistance is lower. What else? Employment to population ratio is higher, labor force participation is higher, unemployment is lower. I mean, I know you guys don't like to read, so I'm not going to ask you to, but I just don't like these bootlickers. I mean, this is easily find outable stuff, as long as you're not, you know, listening to Pam Blondie defend Jeffrey Epstein. Uh-oh, is Joe the Bab thinking we're telling him what to believe? I'm just bringing you facts. I know your feelings don't care about them. You already have made up your mind. You're right here. You're right here, Joe. You're saying, sir, you should check out my no-gag reflex. I'll get that boot so far, you'd think I was on Epstein Island. You don't think. That's the whole thing with MAGA. That's the problem with a majority of Americans. They're brain broken. They hear the argument. Like, I watch the news and it's so infuriating because they play clips of these fucking pathological liars on Fox News and in the regime, like Kristi Noem. And the news just allows it to go out. And I'm like, you have a duty as news. Well, they don't in America. They have a duty to trick you and maximize profits. But in like an ethical world, they have a duty to be like, what you're about to hear is a bold-faced lie. There's video evidence contradicting what the regime is saying. Like, that's my news. That's why I do this. Because I'm going to pay Pam Blondie say, let me just let her say it. She's so fucking stupid. If you can listen to this stuff and be like, yep, that's for me. Like, you've made up in your mind how you feel and you've dictated it to the world. There's no more facts. There's no more truth. There's no more morality, ethics, character. And that's really why I don't want to hear your thoughts on illegal immigration. Because it's like you've made up everything else. You fucking are a delusional, psychotic, fucking anti-American class traitor. Understand?
On religion. Our country was founded on law enforcement.
No, this is what I mean. It's like, just take here. Oh God, maybe you didn't have parents like me. Listen, I was orphaned at a young age. Okay. I still read and shit though. You know, I wasn't gonna let myself go through all of my life stupid. I had some stupid years. I still have stupid moments. But when you try to tell me something that is like foundationally simply just wrong and a lie, if you lie to me on the little things, I don't trust you with the big things. Life advice. I'm Rob. I'm YouTube's official vibe coach. Hit subscribe. I'm taking a moment to teach Joe, who said, what if I care about illegal immigration? Which you don't. You don't. You're not voting for Donald Trump, who got his wife and her family here on an EB-1 visa, an Epstein Buddy 1 visa. He just skirted all the laws, paid for them to come in, and who knows what they're doing. Slovenian compromat? I don't know. So you don't care. You voted for the regime with all immigrant wives. You don't care. You don't. And this is what I mean. It just takes a little bit of common sense to go, oh, tell me about how the poor brown people of immigration you don't like. You see what I'm saying? You're fucking racist. You see what I'm saying? And you're doing it in honor of Epstein. That's Epstein's boot, by the way. Right down your gullet. But here's my vibe coach life advice for you. If you can't trust somebody with the little things, right? If you ask somebody, hey, did you make sure you shut off the heat before you left the house? And they go, oh, yeah, of course I did. And you get home and the heat is blasting and you owe a ton of money for it because, we can't nationalize anything. And these CEOs got to profit off of us just not fucking being freezing in the winter. I can't wait. Anyways, but if you can't trust them with little things, why would you trust them with big things? And Pam Blondie just said, I got to play this again for you because I would hope, here's my hope and prayer for you. You understand, America wasn't founded on law enforcement. There was no law enforcement here. In fact, if anything, we had a Minutemen militia, which I talk about a lot.
Our country was founded on religion. Our country was founded on law enforcement.
No, it wasn't. No, again, if you're too stupid to not understand that, I'm done sharing time with you. Save America from AIPOC. Okay, yeah. AIPOC is worrisome. Happy holidays, free Palestine. I'm not on the side of either political spectrum. Both sides are more for themselves than for us. But as far as immigration goes, we should probably fix our own issues before we help others. That's not an immigration statement. That's saying you don't want us to pay for Israel's universal health care. That's not an immigration thing. What you're saying is like, if you want us to help ourselves, then we need universal health care, stop sending billions to Israel. We need a lot of different things before we worry about the fucking few people who are coming into the country. Because the other thing, because I've lived on the border and I've crossed both borders in America, is they're not open. When you go to Mexico, the border's open. Big turnstile. Tijuana, big turnstile. You just walk through. Nobody's there. They don't give a shit. That's an open border. When you come to America, no. Dusty, I disagree with the not helping others thing. The majority of fixing our problems is building our communities, 100%. I'm more so saying we need to help ourselves before we let people in. Again, how do we, I'm trying to get you to think beyond, oh, if we let people in, we're not helping ourselves. That's not how we're not helping ourselves. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Okay. Crime is lower in these communities that do not honor ICE detainers. Poverty is lower. Like, here's all the stuff that you can read about at the American Immigration Council, okay? You can read. They did studies on so you could just read, okay? I'm not fucking reading to everybody. What I want you to understand is even if they just put up a 1,000-foot wall on both border, America's not helping itself. We're sending money to other countries like Israel. And they have universal health care, okay? The politicians, we saw what red got us. Red got us fascism. Blue would get us status quo fucking preservement and no universal health care. So you need to understand you're living in a fallacy. You think, oh, if we stop immigration, things will get better. That's not how it works. This has nothing to do with immigration. This is racism, upholding white supremacy. Why do you think they're training people for 47 days and hiring Proud Boys? We have the lists. Enrique Tarrio is an ICE agent. This is not about making your communities better. America can do that at any fucking time. Anytime. And undocumented people aren't getting health care here. Do you know how hard it is for Americans to get health care? And you think they're just handing it out to everyone? Again, it's like this fallacy where you don't even fucking use the synapses in your brain to understand. Like, America is not the land of free. It's not. It's not. And I need people to understand that because it's like the common sense. You know, you got to stop living in this thing. Well, if we stop immigration, my wages will go up. No immigrant is holding down your wages. Focus your energy in the right position. The corporations who have gutted the NLRB, bribed Trump, the ones who keep fighting and keeping the politicians from raising the federal minimum wage. It has been at $7.25 since 2009. We are almost 2 decades out of that. Meanwhile, Congress has given themselves raises. Billionaires have exploited so much wealth, and then they turn around and tell you maybe you're living outside of your means. Really? If you can't, if billionaires can't afford 100% tax on everything over 999 million, maybe you're living outside of your means. How come people aren't saying that? How come people aren't waking up and being like, I'm living outside of my means? I'm trying to fucking afford egg. That's not outside of my means. And how come people aren't livid and fucking taking down all this fucking bullshit establishment saying, you're telling me trying to afford egg, cheering when gas goes down 10 cents? Like, what kind of fucking apes are we? Gas? Who gives a shit? Put it at $20 a gallon. Give me free healthcare. Make fucking universal basic income a thing. 3-day work week. Who gives a shit about these little fucking crumbs they throw at you and expect you to applaud and clap like fucking that makes a difference? Again, this is so easy, guys. You just need to use your brain. You need to think. You need to go, they're telling me to not live outside my means. I haven't turned my heat on. I can't afford egg. I'm cheering when gas goes down 12 cents. Well, they're buying yachts for their yacht. Jeff Bezos has a little $75 million yacht for his $500 million yacht. And some people will be like, oh, you can't tax him. He's a job creator. He makes people work 3 jobs, doesn't give them healthcare, subcontracts to other shipping companies so that he doesn't have to deal with them. And then on top of that, his own employees have to pee in bottles because they're not allowed to take breaks because he's not using the robots to replace them. He's using the robots to monitor his workforce to try to maximize the productivity, which he doesn't even know his own history. Or he does, and he's just malicious. That even from the great robber barons of like fucking Henry Ford and the Kellogg's guy, they understood that once unions fought and won the right for weekends and people didn't lose any pay and still had time off, that they spent more. 70% of the economy is consumer purchasing power. This is simple shit. Oh. We're all in this together. The U.S. has overthrown a ton of governments. CIA got down to a T. Look at how that has turned inwards. We're all connected 100%. I talk about this all the time because this book is so amazing. And it talks about all the coups, the CIA and Milton Friedman. Look at that. See, somebody's mad. They're writing in my comments, kind people don't fight cops. And I would say, you're a fucking not kind person. Kind people don't support PDF files. Simple answer. See what I mean? I'm just going to go delete that comment because I'm tired of these people leaving these comments like, kind people don't do it. Kind people don't approach cops? What do you consider ICE then? Do kind people murk U.S. citizens? I mean, it's on its face. These people are so fucking stupid. They have nothing to say. There's no dialogue. Do kind people uphold the Bill of Rights? And it's just not worth anyone's time unless you're just fucking squashing it out, you know, like the little maggots they are. Ooh, hold on. DS King of Kings, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you considered the maggots simply think such tactics are good? They might believe might is right. I do think that's a very good point, and I think there is a sect of them, a small sect of them that thinks this. Look at Stephen Miller. That's why they're saying might equals right. But what I want to bring attention to with that's a good point. Thank you. They might be fascist. 100%. When you look to history, when Mussolini came to power, there were people volunteering to go get the anti-fascists. Volunteering. Neighbors volunteering. That's how it happens. So you're 100% right. 100% right. But the thing is this is what I want to remind people of. Might make right. Might makes right. Whatever Stephen Miller, that beach bimbo. Let's just play Stephen Miller and look at how foolish he is.
In the Ninth Circuit.
On the Ninth Circuit, that's Stephen Miller. You know the little bald Nazi that works for Donald Trump, pulling all the strings right now and in charge of this ICE thing? He sounds like a beach bimbo because he's a rich kid from Santa Monica. And he sounds like a beach bimbo. Listen to him.
But Democrat leaders.
Democrat leaders. He's an up-talker. When he finishes a sentence, he goes, up. Democrat leaders. This is Stephen Miller. What an embarrassment of a human. No wonder he's insecure.
In the Ninth Circuit.
And the Ninth Circuit.
But Democrat
leaders. I mean, when the movies are made about this, I'm sure they're going to get Pauly Shore to play him. But the might makes right thing, what they're saying to you, just so everybody understands, is they're saying there's no law. It's whoever has the biggest whatever. There's no law. That's when they say that, they're not saying like, hey, we live by an internet. This is why, again, all these things are so hilarious when you see the maggot boot gobblers saying they believe in the rule of law and order. When Pam Blondie says this country was founded on law enforcement. No, it wasn't. But you don't believe in law enforcement. You don't. You're breaking the law right now. You're saying whoever has the most power gets to do what they want. That's not law. I'm sorry. Is the lady with the justice scales holding them, but also like has, a huge tank on her back? Like, it's just, this is what I mean. It's so simple that when you stop trying to consider what they're saying and just hear them, they're saying like, we don't abide by laws. That's not a thing. We're the strongest. You're going to do what we say. That's might makes right. Their might makes them right. There's no law. That's what the government, who's saying we need to enforce the law, is telling people. They're saying, we're the strongest. We only do the laws we want. We'll pardon people, we'll take bribes, we'll run meme coins, we'll not release the files, we'll traffic people, we'll kidnap kids, we'll do that. But when it comes to voter rolls, we're going to send in ICE, who has no authority over U.S. citizens, and then lie to you and tell you, oh yeah, this country is founded on law enforcement. How do you figure this country was, how do you found a country on law enforcement? Again, this is so funny to me that people hear that and they're like, yes, well, of course it was. Of course, we were founded by a police union. Of course we were. How do you found a country that doesn't have law? How do you found something that has no laws? America didn't have, this is the Bill of Rights. They were like, we gotta draft some shit, On its face, it's the dumbest shit you could say. But again, when you're speaking to an uneducated populace who's just smart enough to push the buttons and go to work every day, and anything outside of that, even taking their healthcare and making their food scarce and making their heat go to, the profits of some guy who's a foreign national, even when they do that, these people are just like, yep. My God, it's embarrassing. Thank you, Dusty. This country was founded on tapioca pudding. That's a more viable statement. I love how people will defend it. In 1631, there were law officers paroling the street. Like, these fucking people are morons. Please, no spamming. Willfully ignorant. When the only tool you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. I love that saying. Love that saying. And that's what you're seeing right now. All right, guys, listen, hit subscribe. I got to go do some things. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you guys for the rubies. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for spending some time with me. I didn't even get to go over all the news. I didn't even get to play Tad Stoermer in the description, Bunkbed Coffin in the description, links and articles in the description. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate that. And make sure you hit notification bells so when I go live, maybe not later, but tomorrow. The internet's horrible. Huge storm, so good to see everybody. One-Eyed Dollar, Edward, Dusty, Darren. Pam Blondie isn't a dumbass either. No, she's malicious, you're right. Lori, appreciate you. DS King of Kings, good conversation. I appreciate you guys. All right, man. Remember, just use common sense. And when institutions fail, we don't reform them, we replace them.